So, hi guys, and welcome to this week's bot clinic. I'm Simon Wood, and like I mentioned, we're going to have a lovely bot clinic today. To start with, what I'd like to do is go through a couple of bots which have been sent in, and then after that, I'm going to open up to have you guys send in whatever questions you want. In fact, scrub that. If you've got any questions, please start sending them in now. What I'll do is I'll go through a couple of bots, and then I'll come back to the Q&A section. And whatever has been added in here. Hi, John Charles Buckley. Good to see you join us. So, yeah, please do just carry on sending any questions into the Q&A section. If they are relevant to what I'm showing you on screen when I'm reviewing a couple of bots, please do mention the bot that you're referring to, because sometimes what happens is I'll get to a point and I'll see somebody saying, oh, why did you say that about that? And it'd be like, well, I'm not quite sure which bot you're talking to. So if you are asking a question for something that I'm showing on screen at the time that I'm showing it on screen, then please do try and make it clear so I know exactly how I can do that. Oh, sorry, exactly. So I know what bot you're talking about. So I was just reading through some questions that are coming in. Hi, Tony. So I guess everybody can hear me. If you can just put a 1 or something in the chat, just to let me know that you can see me. Hi, Anders, said loud and clear in Thailand. Perfect. So let's see who we have got with us today. We've got Tyrell Christians, we've got Abs Hussein, Anders Jensen, Anne McGuinness, Chris Hazelwood, David Bell, David Thompson, Debbie Rochlin, Don Ramsey, Francis Luon, Greg Jordan, Ian Barton. There's loads of you. I'm not going to go through everybody. Mandy McCoy, I'll do something for bot. Mandy McCoy, Maricel Young. I'm going to say that now because I know I'm pronouncing it right. Mella Forbes, Tony Smith, Tim Harrington, Valdemar Bernardo, Walter Nunez, loads of you in between. So thanks for joining us, guys. Now, like I say, thanks for everybody confirming that you can see me. Hi, Raymond. Hi, John Greenacre. Hi, Karen, Lily. Thank you all for putting that. So I'm just going to move the Q&As over to my other screen. Please keep sending stuff in, guys. Don't stop. If there's anything that I'm doing on screen that you want me to know or you want to know about, then please do let me know. So what I'm going to do now, if I can work out how to do it, is share my screen with you guys so that you can see a bot. Now, let me just make sure that's right. So, guys, you should now be able to see my screen. Please put a 2 in the chat. Hi, David. Anno. I can't never remember what we agreed with that one. 2. Yeah, perfect. So you can see my screen. So this, and do forgive me. I'm sorry, but I've forgotten who sent this in. I do have it listed, but I'll have to look at that after I have gone through the bot. So here we are on a lovely looking website. We've got this little bot in the corner. It's a widget bot. So what I'm just going to do is go through this bot, have a little look and give you my view on what I think works well and perhaps my view on what I think doesn't work well. John says he doesn't see the chat. You shouldn't. We just have this Q&A section. So anyway, the first thing I notice about this bot that it does grab my attention. We've got some overlay text here saying click here for your free gift. So it very much explains what it's going to do. And they've even put a little gift image in or emoji in, which I think adds a nice touch. You put the gift emoji at the beginning. But I do think that does give it a bit of balance. I might have gift in all capitals, and I would put the F here in a capital and the Y in a capital. In here, I like to have the first letter of every word in capitals. I just think it makes it easier to read. But yeah, that certainly grabs my attention. So it's good use of overlay text. So now let's open the bot and have a little go through it. Now, one thing that I do notice here, I think we've had I mean, it's good that we're using, in fact, if I click this, you'll see that the outer line of the box down here as well is in blue. So we're trying to match the colors on the site, which is absolutely the right thing to do. My eyes can't quite tell, but the blue on this button looks a little bit different to the blue on this button. But the idea behind this, guys, is that obviously the bot is part of your site. So having buttons in your bot that are the same color as the buttons on the site people, if they've clicked on a button in the site or they see buttons in the site, it just looks like it all fits, and it's just going to be more consistent. You're going to get more clicks. It just seems much better. So let me just have a little look at the content here. Welcome to Smart Homes Pro. My name is Smartbot. Is that going to be Smartbot or Smartbot? Your virtual assistant. Are you interested in smart homes? Yes, I am, is what I've clicked on. And yeah, this is great. Some people might say, but there's only one option to click on. The idea that we're doing is we're having a two-way conversation. So it's important that the end user who lands on this bot does some interacting. If you think about websites, they're one way. Websites, sales pages, they're basically that company talking at you as an end user. It's all one way. Whether that content is being fed by text on a page that the end user is reading, it's still a one-way conversation. If it's a sales video, it's still a one-way conversation. What bots allow us to do is have the other person come back to us. Now, in many cases, we're not looking to actually open a conversation with them, but if people are clicking, they're involved in the conversation, we're keeping their attention. What I can tell you is that if, for example, I open this bot and it just talks to me, and I'm not engaging in any way, even if it's just clicking a button, then the more that messages go on, the less interested I become. It's just a natural thing. We all do it. So just putting these little interaction points in really does increase the engagement of the bot, and you have far more chance. We call these like mini conversions or micro conversions, because every time someone commits to a micro conversion, there's more chance they're going to commit to the next one. And the more they commit to, the more chances that you're going to get the action at the end of the bot, or they're going to get their details or whatever it is that you're looking to do. So I do like to have short message blocks that ensure that the conversation is two-way. And the other thing is that we don't want to be using, I mean, if you see here, these message lines are all quite short and simple. We don't want to be seeing 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 sentence blocks. It just becomes hard to read. You've got to remember that people scan rather than actually read when they're online. It's all about scanning. It's not like you're reading a novel where you really read it. People scan. So you don't really take in every single word. And our brain's very good at filling bits anyway. So yeah, so short is sweet. We're welcoming up, we're saying who we are. We're letting them know that we're a virtual assistant and we're not a real person, which I think is very important. You don't have to do it like this, but my point is, what we never want to do is pass ourselves off or try and pass ourselves off as a human being. That is a way to get a real lack of performance out of your bot. Most people don't mind engaging with bots. We don't need to be ashamed that we're a bot. It's providing a service or doing something. So anyway, let me move on. I don't want to get stuck in one spot. Now, obviously, this next block is quite important, because we've got to remember that the overlay text we had here, let me just go back to it. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. The original overlay text we have here is pushing a free gift. So it is really important that we mention that in the bot quite early on. Otherwise, we're going to lose some attention, because people are clicking on it because they're expecting a free gift. If we waffle on about everything but a free gift, then we're going to lose them. So this bot goes on to say, that's great. If you'd like me to provide you with a free estimate and your free gift, I'll need some basic information. So what we're doing is we're basically saying, that's fine, I'm happy to give you a gift. It comes with a free estimate, effectively, which is what the aim really, I'm guessing, of this bot is. It's not just to give a free gift. It's to get the details, to give a free estimate so we can get our foot in the door. And obviously the free gift is a bit of a sweetener. So yeah, I'm completely happy with that. Again, I might make gift in all capitals. And the important thing is, again, that we haven't got long sentences. And the other thing, guys, it's when we're writing content, we don't want content to be use long words. We want to keep it simple. It's conversational. You wouldn't sort of, have a conversation with one of your friends or someone and use long words. You just use the words that you naturally speak in. So it's important that we do that. We don't want to alienate people, and stuff like that's rather than that is, if you'd rather than if you would, all of that kind of stuff. Always use the abbreviated versions and not the long versions. So yeah, that's something to think about. And once again, we've got an interaction point that comes pretty soon. So, and again, there's only just one option. We don't want to send people off on loads of options. Yes, sometimes it's nice to have 2 options. So far, what I've seen here is pretty good. What it's lacking so far is an image or a GIF. So, for example, up here, smart homes. I mean, maybe we could have a picture just to clarify what we mean by smart homes. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if you're on this site, you're going to have some sort of understanding on that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. But I do think that images, would just break it up a little. Whether it is even just a company logo or an image of an element of a smart home, like a screen with all the different options on, whatever. But anyway, so we've got this other interaction point. I'm going to click sure because I do want a free gift. So now we are moving on to collect a name. Now, we're not just asking for a name randomly. There's a lot of people have a lot of different thoughts on collecting a name early in a bot. There are examples where it's probably a good idea, and there are examples where it probably isn't a good idea. In this case, we have confirmed that we want to give them something before we ask for something. But what I might do is I might expand on that. If you'd like me to provide you with a free estimate and your free gift, I'll need some basic information. Sure. So I would say something here like, okay, to get started, it'd be good to know who I'm talking to. Please enter your name below, just so that you're doing it from a point of view of not wanting to be rude or whatever. But listen, I'm being a little bit pernickety because I'm reviewing a bot. So let's just put Simon in. Nice to meet you, Simon. One thing that I really do believe in, anytime you grab a name, do use a placeholder and say, thanks, Simon, or it's nice to meet you, Simon, or good to meet you, Simon, so on and so forth. I just think that is good practice. We're personalizing it. If we've taken their name, we may as well use it. Yeah, it's just polite. And also, I just think it's good practice to do that. So next, please input your email address. So again, while we're not just saying, give me your name, give me your email address, we've qualified why we want things. I might go a step further again here and say, it's nice to meet you, Simon. In order for me to send you your free gift and estimate, please enter your best email address below. And the reason I'd say that is just to remind them that I would like to give them a free gift, but I can't send it without your email address. And also I can't send your free estimate. So it's just reconfirming in their brains why I want their email address. It's always good if you can to very quickly explain if there's a reason why, it's good to give it because you're just removing any doubt from people. Remember that quite often, online people get very defensive at certain things. If something popped up on your computer and said, "I'll enter your email address here," you'd think, "Oh, no, I don't want to do that." So people have a negative thing about giving their email address away. Am I going to get spammed, or is this some kind of scam where I'm suddenly going to find that my bank account's been emptied or whatever? So I would just always clarify. So just to confirm, it's nice to meet you, Simon. In order for me to send your free gift and estimate, please enter the email address you'd like me to send it to below. It's just me giving as much information as I can. So again, I'll go along the same lines. I'd probably, I might even say thanks, Simon here. What's the best number to reach you at? I might give them a reason why I want their number, just to confirm that. I'm just going to put any old number in. Of course, I can't do any old number, can I? But so far, guys, I'm quite happy with this bot. It's something. Sorry, let me just let this finish. It's something that I definitely think would need to be tested, put on the site, tested with real traffic, and see how it performs. And then I might make little tweaks. But the tweak I've suggested here, the tweak I've suggested in these 2 spots as well, is really just padding it out to give them some confidence to why we're asking for their personal details, I should say. Thank you again. I might just, if you're not using Simon here, I probably would here. It's a bit much to recall my name on every block because that might be seen as a bit controlling. But certainly every few blocks I would drop that in just to make the conversation nice and personalized. Yeah, I think that little things like that can go quite a long way. Anyway, thank you. now that that's out the way, we can get started. I'm going to ask you a few questions. This is so I can get a better understanding of what you need. And then we have got a picture now, which I think if you see that snapshot and compare it to that snapshot, to me, that just looks so much more enjoyable to read, or so much more engaging. So that's why I do like images or GIFs. GIFs are moving, so they keep your eyes, your attention. Anyway, so now that that's out of the way, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I'll get a better understanding what you need. So here is interesting. And this is, I'd be interested to see how this works. So if they say okay, they're basically saying, I'm happy for you to ask me questions and I'm happy to answer them. Or they're just going to say, oh, give me a call instead. In which case, you've already got their details. You can ring them up and they might be quite motivated. Now, what you could try, let's say, for example, by asking for these 3 bits of information, you notice that you get a lower number of people through to this block than you would do them perhaps if you didn't ask for phone number. What you could do is ask for phone number after they say, give me a call. You're just removing a potential point of people leaving the bot. I'm not saying people leave the box to ask for their phone number, but some might. They might think, oh, I'm not really ready to give my phone number yet. I haven't got another option. I either give you my phone number or I leave. So to avoid that, you could not have the phone number here and instead put it in after here. So if they say, give me a call, they're basically saying to you, I want to give you my phone number. So that would be a point where you can collect their phone number much easier, and it's removing a step out of the bot to this point. So your conversions or people going through to the next stop should go up. Now, the one negative to that is that if somebody clicks on the OK button, then you're not going to have their phone number. But what you could do is if somebody clicks on OK and goes through whatever these next set of questions are, if they get to the end of that, then they're quite motivated. So that might be a good point to collect their phone number. You could say something like, oh, thanks for answering these questions. We've got everything we need now. We're going to go and have a look at this. And one of our experts is going to give you a call to let you know or give you our advice or let you know what we think, whatever it is. Please enter your phone number below. And then again, you're giving them a reason why you need their phone number. It's not for me. It's for you that I'm doing this. So anyway, what I'm going to do is click on let's have a look at give me a call instead. No problem, Simon. I'll be in touch soon. Have a great day. So there we can see, guys. Actually, I think that's a pretty good bot. I don't know if it's your first go, whether you've tested anything else, but I think a lot of the good practices are met. We've got short blocks. We've got simple terminology, simple wording, short messages, lots of interaction points, and we're collecting data. So really, the bit of the bot we've seen is to give the customer confidence and also gather some data, which it does, and it does pretty effectively. Like I say, going down the flow we've done, you could hear when they say, give me a call instead, say, no problem, Simon, please enter your phone number below and I'll get one of our experts to give you a call straight away. They put it in. That's great. I'll be in touch soon. Have a great day. That's the only thing that I could suggest there that could be tested. But let's very quickly go back to the beginning of this bot. So I'm just going to check in on things just to see if there's any questions relating to what I'm talking about. So let's go back to the beginning of this bot and just go down the other path and just see how that works, because that was gathering more data. Right. Yes, so I'm interested in smart homes. Sure. My name is Simon. Whatever. So I just want to get back to the same point, guys. That's not going to be enough, is it? And then we're going to move on to a new bot. I don't want to spend too much time on these because I do want to leave a bit of time for the Q&A as well. So now I'm going to say, okay, let's give me some more questions. So here it's saying, let's start with the kind of services you're interested in. So here, this is a multiple choice thing. So if I click here, you can see that we've got these different options in terms of what I might be interested in. So let's say I was here because I want more security and surveillance, but I'm also interested in whole home audio. Then I can click one, I can click to, yeah, I can choose whatever I want, and that's just, they're going to know just what it is I'm interested in. I'm just wondering whether that could be done differently, so they see different content here if they select other. So other would send them to a different message block where you say, okay, now please describe what it is you need. But I mean, this, I guess, removes the need to do that. I just wonder whether we're putting content here that some people don't need to see. Anyway, we've made our selections, and now we just need to confirm, is our currently home? Yeah, it's a finished home. How big is it? Okay, so we're gathering information here so we can have a bit more information on the kind of job this might be, timescales. So this is qualifying them. How important are they as a customer? What we're basically seeing here, guys, let's just pretend, for example, that you're going to get 100 inquiries a day. Let's just go extreme. You're going to get 100 inquiries a day. Now, some of them might be worth thousands in terms of a contract or a job, and some of them might be worth hundreds, just a little bit. Now, obviously, they're all potential customers, and we need to provide customer service to everybody. But what we can do is prioritize. So, you know, if we get a lot of these in, what the bot's done is it's saying to us, these are the customers or potential customers that you should contact first. This guy's got a big house, it's finished. He wants this done in 2 weeks. We need to prioritize over him, over this guy who's got, you know, a budget of $200. His house hasn't been built yet, and he doesn't think he's going to move in for 2 years. It's like the bot can tell us which customer is more important. If we just see a customer and they've given us their name and number, well, we've got no information to determine whether one's ready to go now, whether one's got loads of money to spend or one's got no money to spend. We just don't know. So we have to ring all of them in order to get that information and make a decision on where we need to prioritize. And we might prioritize based on how soon somebody needs it. We might prioritize based on how much money we're going to make. That there's so many different variables there. But obviously, what the bot's doing is it's gathering that information for us and sending it through to us automatically, so we can then just review it and make that decision. So, guys, I'm not going to carry on with this bot any longer. I think we've had a good look at it. We've looked at some good points. I've made some suggestions on what I might test or try different things. The last thing that I do want to mention is if I close the bot, you can see here that this overlay is text from click here to get a free gift or whatever it was, to click for free estimate. So we're just if somebody like opens the bot and then closes it pretty soon, maybe they thought they were seduced by the free gift thing and they thought, oh, do you know what, I just want an estimate. And then they click away. It's like, no, actually, I can give you an estimate as well here. So yeah, all in all, I think that's a pretty good bot. Certainly good to test. I'd be interested to see how the results were. So thank you for sending that through. In fact, let me just pull this out here because then I can find out who it was. That was from Oren. That was Oren sent that through. So thank you very much for that. And now we're going to have a look at another bot. But let me first just check. Oh, now I can actually update because I think Oren has just sent a question in, or it's not a question, just says, just got a hot new lead, ... lol. So the bot's obviously doing some stuff right. That's really good to hear. If you could just let me know, how long have you had that bot up? That would be interesting to know. The video is on the bot corner. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Right, anyway, I can't see any questions relating to that, so I'm actually going to move on to the next one. Let me just close this and reload it. I guess that was on an auto open, maybe. Right, so here we are. Yeah, that one is on an auto open. Now, one thing that I would say, guys, is with auto open, so before we actually get into this bot, one thing that I would say is auto open should be tested. In some cases, it does work well. And certainly in cases where you're wanting to provide instructions. In fact, I just had an email from a customer saying, you know, we've got a page on our site where people don't really follow the instructions properly. They're not quite sure what they're doing. So actually having a bot there to help provide instructions, just to give them a bit of guidance on what they should be doing, might help us. We might get more solid data, etc. Yet perfect use. In that case, having it pop up straight away when they land on the page and say, look, I'm here to help you fill this form out or whatever it is, brilliant. In terms of if you're looking to collect data or lead generation, etc., then I would test it. And the reason for that is that in my experience, conversions are increased if somebody's had to click to open the bot. When we were looking at the previous bot, I talked about micro conversions or mini conversions, and every time they click, they're committing more and committing more and committing more. Well, I think it's the same for actually clicking on the widget there. I think if somebody's actually seen, let me just refresh it again. If somebody's actually seen this overlay text when it comes up there and then come down to click on it, I think they're perhaps more motivated than somebody who just, it's opened up, someone's going to sort of look at it. I didn't really want it here. I don't even know if I want it here, but I'm going to look at it anyway. So that's just something that's worth testing. There's no right or wrong with things. These features are all here because there's some use for it. But in this case, it might be best to actually have it so they click it. And also, if I just come back, sorry to keep refreshing. If I come back, you know, we have got this overlay text here. Welcome, how can I help you? Now, before anybody's had a chance to read that overlay text, this would have popped open because obviously I was looking for that on the refresh. If I just landed on the page, then maybe my eye hadn't gone there yet. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's have a look. So, hi there. Welcome to the Wine Rack Doctors. I'm Bo. Would you like some help today? Again, we've got a nice image here. So this is quite a friendly opening. And the other thing is, much like the last one we looked at, look at this button. Look at this button. It matches perfectly. So, you know, it really does fit the same style. I mean, is it the same color? It probably is. That one's actually got a bit of a gradient in it. So, yeah. And also we've got a cartoon picture in here. So that's kind of saying to me, you know, my name's Bo, but I'm not a real person. You know, it's obviously taken from this little guy up here. Who is one of the doctors. So anyway, I can see the whole message in the block as well. And that's something that would be important, guys. If you were using an auto-open bot, you know, this bot, if it autos opens and all of the content fills out, it hasn't scrolled too far where I can't see the top message. Because obviously, if you haven't opened it yourself, it may well be that you weren't reading that top message. So it's nice that, you know, if I turned away and came back and then it was suddenly open, I can still read it from the beginning. If there were more messages, it would have scrolled down and that would be off the top of the page somewhere. So anyway, this bot is just asking, would I like some help? Yeah, that would be great. Now, one thing I am noticing, just as a point of mention, this little subtext here, what you have is quite hard to read. Now, it's not majorly important. It's not going to be a deciding factor on how your conversions go. But I would say that some people might just be curious as to why that would be. So I would probably make this darker so it can be read. Just my personal view. I don't think there's any necessarily right or wrong. But if it's there, you may as well see it. Otherwise, it's sort of pointless it being there. Before we get started, can I ask for your name, please? Yeah, that's fine. I'll say at the end whether I would collect a name there. I think in the last case, we discussed that and it would be fine. This obviously is, let me just wait for this these message blocks to load before we go back. Now, it was mentioned that the images are designed to be quite large on this. When the person who sent it in, who was... I can't see who it was. It was Paul. He did say, I can't see where he's put it now, but I think he did mention somewhere that he made the images big because he wants, most people are visiting it on a desktop, not mobile, which is fine. What you want to avoid, the thing just to point out, guys, that you want to avoid, if these images are too long, it's okay here because we've only got these two little bits of text here. But if there are a few more passages of text and then the image comes in and it's pushed the text pushed the text off the top of the bot before I've had a chance to read it, then it becomes annoying. So I'm trying to scroll up and it's adding more content and more images. The more I try and scroll up, the more it wants to push me down. And that can be quite annoying. So you just need to make sure that, you know, people are able to read this before you add this image here. And there's a number of ways you can do that. Either keep the message content short, or after this message, you can put a typing animation delay of a long period before the image appears, or not when I say long period, a long enough period for them to read everything above before the image appears. And you can just be sure that they're only going to see that image when they have finished reading all of the previous text. So anyway, what we're doing here is we're basically saying to them, look, are you looking for a custom solution? Or would you like to take a look at our stock racks ready to ship today? So basically, we can either build something to your specifications, or you can have a look at the stuff that we stock that regularly gets purchased by customers, excuse me. And then we've got those two options. So I'm going to go for stock racks. It may well be that if you go down the customized solution, it's going to ask more questions, because it's going to want to know more about what you're doing. So again, we're qualifying people here for home or for business. For home, I don't know whether that's because they charge more for businesses, but sometimes it's good to know who it is you're dealing with. Of course, you need to know how many bottles there are. So, I mean, this is a good bot. It's qualifying people. It's trying to get to the point. It's giving me the confidence that it is helping me. It's not asking me silly questions and making me feel like it's just there for the gimmick. And again, if we scroll up and quickly just go down, it is actually taking me through. Let me just go back to the, oh, that's the wrong one. Let me go back. Let me just go back and start that again. So now that I've gone through it, yeah, there's lots of short message blocks, which is great, fantastic, lots of interaction points. I did mention whether or not at the end of it, I will come back and have a look at whether or not we need to collect the name here. And it's probably not essential, because the idea of this bot is not to gather data. This is not a lead generation bot. We're not getting an email address. We're not getting a phone number. What we're trying to do here is help people who land on the page decide where they need to go or what they need to do. So yeah, that's what this bot is helping us do. It's helping us make a decision on what we want, which is going to help me become a buyer quicker, rather than let me collect your details and try and contact you later or sell to you later. We're trying to get you to the right place as quickly as possible. So from that point of view, you can test this collecting a name. Perhaps I would say, before we get started, it would be rude of me to not know who I'm talking to. Please, could you enter your name below? Something like that. And then you can use that name and call it back to them, much like they have in this case. It was Paul, wasn't it? Much like Paul has here. So there's no right or wrong here. What I would say is I would create a clone of this bot, and I would just take that one step there out. So you're not asking for a name here. And instead you're going from sure, that would be great. We'd like some help today. Sure, that would be great. Straight through to have I managed to break your bot? What's going on? Oh, that's strange. Let me try that again. So yeah, it's just testing, and it's split testing. It's simple A/B testing. We've got one bot that's collecting name and calling it back, and it's providing a personalized experience. And we've got another bot that is not collecting name, and it may be that helps people get through the bot quicker. I'm suggesting that you've made a change to the bot in the time that we've been on here, because all of a sudden I'm unable to go past this point. So yeah, there must be some changes being made. Paul, you on? Can you confirm that? Paul says, I've just reset it, so I'm in no more auto open. So I think Paul is making some changes. You might just want to check this block, Paul, where you're collecting name. You know, I'm not going to go through it again. You understand the point that I'm making, but Paul is making changes there. Paul, right? So just check that. But what I say I would do is make a clone, remove that step so it goes straight from sure that would be great to whatever the next bit is after we've collected name, and then just test to see which one performs best. And you could even do another one where you collect more than just name and you collect a phone number. Probably in this case, I'll go for a phone number over an email, because I think you want to actually understand what people want. What is your requirement? What is it you're looking for? Now, if you send them an email, they might not see it. It might go to spam. They might not reply. If you've got their phone number, And what I've seen people do, which works really well actually, when you're making a call, if you collect a number through a bot and you're making that call to them, and the call and the number that shows up on their cell phone or their mobile phone is a set number and it's not like withheld or whatever, which sometimes can happen for offices. I even have said in bots after collecting the email, after collecting the phone number, sorry, thank you for that. If you get a phone call from this number, just know it's us. Because sometimes people, if they don't recognize the number, they'll ignore it. So I just confirm, or even something like if you get a phone call from a phone number ending in 803 or something, then just know that it's us, and we're just ringing to have a chat about your requirements. So that can work really well. So I would, if I were you, Paul, I would create 2 more versions of this. One, like I say, without collecting name, and one that perhaps actually collects a bit more detail. But perhaps you could do it even after you've asked them what it is they're looking for, so you have some idea. So you can ring them up and say, look, I understand you're looking for a custom wine rack. How many bottles? What kind of shape? Do you want it going around a bend? Do you want it going around a corner? What is it you're looking for? But in general, guys, I think those are 2 pretty decent bots. If I was being ultra critical, I might split this across 2 lines. So it's like, hi there, and then welcome to the wine rack doctors. But that is me being super critical. So anyway, that's just me reviewing a couple of bots. Let me get the questions up now, and I can see that a few have been coming in. And I can't believe 36 minutes has gone past already. Do I really talk that much? I'm so sorry, guys. Now we might get to some questions about those bots, guys. If you've got any, please do send them in and I will try and get to them. But I do want to go through and just see what other questions we've got here as well. So Terrell asks, how do I link my bot to a Google Sheet? So we have a direct integration with Google Sheets. So you should be able to do that from the general settings page. There'll be a Google tab on there, and in there should be a Google Calendar and a Google Sheets integration. There is no training video for it yet, but it's there and it's working. If you do have any problems getting it set up, please do send us an email. And just so everyone's aware, there's a number of features that are live that we don't have a training video from. I'm working on a number of other training videos at the moment. As soon as I finish those, I'm going to be going through all of the new features. I'll be recording training videos for them. And then we've got about another 20 or so features that are ready to be reviewed. And I will also be going through those, reviewing those and recording a video for those as well, as and when I can. And we'll be pushing those live. But yeah, you should find that on the general settings page. John asks, is there any additional extra training for myself and son? John, I'd have to know. I'm not quite sure what training you've got, what you don't have. I'd need a little bit more information there, based around what you're trying to do, what you've purchased, etc. So Raymond's asking, just curious when you release the Instagram bot option. I'm not really sure at this moment, Raymond. It's something that we are working on, along with Instagram as well. Those 2 are the next 2 that are going to be added to our Omni channel. But I haven't got a timescale yet. It is something that we are hoping to get sorted as soon as possible. And we have developers working on lots of different things at the same time, but it's not something that is going to be imminent. We'll get to it as soon as we can. Well, I say get to it. We'll get it released as soon as we can. But there's lots of other features that need me to be reviewed. And I will have an update on that probably in a few weeks' time. I'm still not quite sure what this comment is. Your video is on the bot corner. Can everybody see everything all right? I think everybody can. This is an interesting question. Paul, the owner of this very bot here, in fact, this whole website, look, he asked, can we time trigger a response? What I mean here is, can we get the bot to read the system clock on the computer and then greet the website visitor with good morning or good evening? I mean, that's a very good question, and it's not one I know the answer to. I I would be pretty sure that that's not possible right now. But I do like your thinking, and I am going to make a note. Let me just check if I can't see. Winnie, if you're, I think you are, I think I did see your name on the screen there. Would you please be able to just make a note of the reference to Paul's question here? Can we get the bot to see from the computer clock what time of day it is and whether we can personalize the greeting based on morning, afternoon, evening, etc. Kem asks, how do you add a free downloadable content to the bot? So there's a number of ways that you can do this. I recommend you go and have a look in the basic training, and it's probably in building a bot, and then have a look at adding text links and also adding a link to a button. So what some people would do is, you know, create a link saying click here to download, just in text, and you can hyperlink it and then put any link in the hyperlink, and it could be a downloadable link, or you can create a button. In fact, I'm sharing my screen, aren't I? Let's just go into a bot. Let's just go into a bot. So I'm going to go into, what are we trying to do? Free downloadable content. I'm just going to go into this knee pain clinic bot, just because I need a bot to show as an example. And when I'm sharing my screen, guys, things might slow down a bit on my computer. Just always happens whenever I'm in Zoom sharing something. This is likely to happen. So this is just a bot that I've been working on. But what I'll do is add a new block. So I don't want to change any of that. So what we can do is, and again, I'm sorry, click here to download, blah, 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 blah. If you highlight it, you can hit this button here, which is going to allow you to add a link. And then you just put the link of the file they're going to download in there. And then when they click it, it's going to download the file. The other way you can do it is create a button. You know, click here to download. Here we go. I've already got one. And then you can click on this little link button here, add that in there. And then when they click on the button, it will download the file. So that is how you can insert a download. Now, I always said that I wouldn't waste time showing people how to do things that are in the training, but hey. Paul is absolutely smashing the questions here. I don't know whether you can all see, but he asks, with the analytics, can we reset the figures at the beginning or end of a time period, i.e. month or week? Can we reset a 24-hour time zone? I'm in Sydney. I wanted to review each 24 hours from midnight to midnight, not day set by GMT. Again, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this, but if Winnie, if you could please make a note of that as well. He's asking about whether or not he can determine the time zone or when the day starts and end for that bot, rather than, I think all our bots are working from the same time zone, but obviously all of our users are in different locations in different time zones. So can they have it so it actually fits for their time zone? So a 24-hour period is a 24-hour period in Monday for them. So I will look into that along with the other one for you, Paul. They're questions that I will bring up in our next technical meeting. And depending on what's possible, we will add that to our list. So Debbie asks here, on Smart Home site, he introduced himself as SmartBot. Would you suggest using an actual name instead? I don't think there's any right or wrong here, really, Debbie. For me, it's just about not trying to convince people that you're a human. If you, you know, if you were to say, you know, hi, my name's Debbie, you know, and you sort of say things as if you're a human, like, oh, it's so annoying when that happens. My kids do that all the time. Whatever. You just put in those little bits of humor. It's like you're trying to make out you're real and you're not. You've not got any kids. So you know, I'm quite happy to call my bots by names. I normally like to think of something that fits with what it's doing. I mean, I think I called in the dog training one, I might have called it Bones or something. You know, it just sort of fits. But you know, using a real name is absolutely fine. Now I can see that we have Oren and Gary Jones have raised their hand. Please, could you type in the question you have, and I will have a look for that in just a moment. So yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong there, Debbie. It's just making sure that you don't try and pass yourself off as a real human. And I would say as well, I forget, Oren, wasn't it? You're getting some nice comments about your bots. A lot of people are pretty so I was reading the next question. A lot of people are very happy with your bot. Tim asks, to be precise by matching the color of their site with our bot, is there any way we can identify the color they're using on their page? So what I tend to do, and I'm no expert on these things, I've got to remember US spelling. What I tend to do is look for a color picker. So what this will do, you can actually find color pickers that, say I was on this website, and you can find a little color picker that's like a little widget type thing that pops out, and you can literally, much like you can click and drag this to anywhere within this color, I'd have a little picker like this thing, but I'd have it over the website, and I could hover it here and find out the exact color of that. I could hover it here and find out the exact color of that. If I wanted to know this blue, I could find out the exact color of that, and then it's going to give me you know, a sort of HTML color code or whatever, like FFFFFF is white or black, whichever way around it is. And then you can just copy that and put it into our builder, and it will make it that color for you. So I hope that helps. But if you type color picker, that one of these will be one where you can actually have it and pick a color on a website. Is there a limit on how many? This is from Terrell. Is there a limit on how many bots, how many users, sorry, a bot can handle at once? No, it's not like live chat where there'd obviously people be put in a queue. A bot can interact with as many people at the same time. So if you had a high traffic website where you might get several thousand people on there each day, you're definitely going to get periods of time where you've got more than 1, 2, 10 people on there at once, and many of them may want to be engaging with a chat bot. That's absolutely fine. There's going to be no problems there. Terrell goes on to ask, does the bot slow down the website? No, it absolutely doesn't. The bot isn't being hosted on the same server as the website, so that is just a bit of script that is calling a bot from a different server. So it should have absolutely no impact on the speed of the site. Not something I've seen anyway. Do we have stats for video views and number views of bots generally? And I'm not quite sure about your question here. Smart Homes Bot, do we have stats for video views and number of views of bots? General question, really. Do you mean if there was a bot and a video on a page, you know, what's the percentage of, or what's the number of views clicking, watching the video, and what's the number of bot clicks? Is that what you mean? My answer to that would be that there's a few variables there. One is the video auto loading. If the video is auto loading, then most people who land on that page are going to view the video because it's played, and that means it's been viewed, even if they haven't viewed it. If it's not auto loading, it's dependent on a click, then obviously that would be measured against the click of a bot. But I've not really seen any stats on that myself. What I do know is quite often if I'm using a bot on a page that's got a video on there, I'm using the bot to sort of provide a summary of what the video is saying. Some people might see the video and think, oh God, this is going to be an hour long or 2 hours. I can't be bothered to sit through it. Let's see what this bot said. I mean, it's going to tell me what this is all about. And then you literally just pick out the important points, and you can deliver it in just a few message blocks rather than a few hours, basically. So it's just sort of condensing the content that is being delivered on video. Let me get rid of that. So somebody, anonymous attendee, just commenting on the wine rack doctor's bot, has said, I would expect to see a wine photo and not a cartoon. I mean, I think, I think this is always gonna depend. I mean, like I say, this guy here, it's not random. It's not just a random picture of a cartoon. The wine rack doctors, you can see we've got a couple of characters up here. Quite often, products, websites. I mean, I'm guessing it's a worldwide thing, or most people know about it. Compare the market. Did a massive campaign about Compare the Meerkat, and in fact, they even built a Compare the Meerkat website. But the point is now they've used the meerkats as their little sort of I don't want to call them promo guys. I can't think of what the word is now, but that they're associated with that. Now you could say, look, I'm looking for car insurance. I want to see a car. I don't want to see a meerkat. What's that got to do with anything? But it's just the way they're marketing it. And it seems to work for them. They've done really well. I hope you all know what I mean as well when I'm talking about Compare the Market. So if there was no reference to this face, then ultimately, if you went on to comparethemarket.com and they had a bot, who would you expect to be the face of the bot? It would be the meerkat, wouldn't it? Be one of them. They might have different bots and different meerkats. In fact, one of the meerkats is even a bot that works out all the stuff for you now. That's their latest advert that I've seen. But also, this guy, it is his icon here. So, we are kind of saying that the wine rack doctor is this guy, and when we open it, it's consistent. So, I'm not too worried about that. And further on down there, we've got pictures of wine racks. So I can see some consistency there. Yes, I would agree. If there was no reference to this face or these cartoons on the bot icon either, then it would seem a little bit random. But in this case, I don't believe it is. Let's see what else we've got here. Abs Hussein is saying, would those wine rack pictures not be better off as cards? You could do that. You could do that. I mean, I haven't got a card right in front of me. What Abs here means by cards is you can actually display. You can have an image with a click here button below, and there's another one next to it, and you can actually scroll left and right. If you haven't seen cards, go and have a look at cards in the basic training. Building a bot, it's probably in there. It's going to be called cards. That I find useful for stuff like, let's say you're on a fashion site and you've got all these different categories, like maybe jeans, maybe accessories, maybe jumpers and hoodies, maybe shorts and whatever's. Then having the different categories on cards. So someone's saying want to find all the different things. We're gonna have a look at our jeans. We're gonna have a look at. I can see how that would work here, but from memory, I can't remember he's using them to break the things up. But listen, you can do that. He gave the selection on, do you want custom or the ones we stock, and you could put those two options on a card for sure. You just test which one works the best, but I don't see any problems with doing it either way there. So David Hurley asked an interesting question. If I clone a bot to do the A/B test, then turn off the original, does the bot code still work? So no, if you clone a bot, every single bot, whether it's cloned or not, has a unique bot ID. So if you install your first bot and then clone it in the members in the builder here, you're still only going to have that first bot installed because obviously the code has got the bot ID on it. We're actually working on a feature that would allow you to split test. But for now, you're just going to have to literally, what I do is I install one bit of code. I leave it up for whatever period of time I want to leave it up there, for a week, 10 days, whatever it is. And then I just change that code to the other one and test that. Like I say, we are working on a feature that would allow you to install one bit of code and then split test various bots, but that's not quite live at the moment, so you would need to manually do that. But it's definitely worth doing that David, if you can. Anne here asks, can you have two different bots on one site? For example, on my site, I do hair extensions. On another page, I do eyelash extensions. So can I make a bot specific to one service, one for hair extensions, one for eyelash extensions? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Uh, she says here that I like to ultra segment my leads. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, that would be no problem. You could have three bots on one site if you wanted. If you've got a generic, let's say your home page isn't really dedicated to hair extensions or eyelashes, you could have a bot where it says early on, are you interested in hair extensions or eyelashes? And then they click on that, then all of the content they see is relevant to one or the other. If you're then collecting an email address for people who are interested in hair extensions, you can still send that email to a different list as an email that you might collect if they choose eyelash extensions. So you don't need to, one bot is not only going to send to one list, you can choose which list within your autoresponder account you want to send an email to. You could collect an email address at 10 different points in a bot, and all 10 of those points could be sent to a different list. You could even send it to a different account if you wanted to, the way it's set up. So there's no problem there. You could have one bot, like I say, on the homepage. It does for both. You could then have a specific bot on each of the specific pages that just focus on that. It's really up to you how you manage that. The only difference is, obviously, the way you would normally install a bot is to put it in the head tag on your home page, and that will add it to all pages unless you choose not to in the bot settings. If you want to have two different bots on different pages in your site, then you will need to install the bot you want on the page onto the actual page you want it, obviously if it's not the home page. So I hope that makes sense. No worries, Oren. I'm more than happy to provide feedback. Thank you for sending something in for me to review. I really do appreciate that. David Bell asks, will you be sending out invites for the affiliate session? They should have gone out, or they will be going out tonight. So anybody who is signed up to our affiliate package, you should get that. If not, it's the same link that we used last week, and please do that. Now, guys, I'm just going to say this now because it's 3 minutes to 5. Now, as people know who join me on any of my sessions, I'm always more than happy to stay until I finish the sessions. Still finish the questions. I do have a meeting at in 33 minutes time, 5:30 my time, which is in 33 minutes time, and I've got to do a little prep for that. So I'm gonna go for as long as I can, but I've probably got to jump at about 10 past, and it's in about 13 minutes. Lily Rose is asking, I need the link to get it installed on my CF landing pages. So all of the installation links are on the published page. If you want to embed it into the page, there's the embedded content, the embedded code. If you want to add it as a widget, then there's the widget code there as well. If you're unsure, go to basic training, and in there, there's a publishing a chatbot section, and that covers all of the different install options. John Greenacre says, I suppose what you're doing here is in fact additional training, especially if you would check any bots I've set up. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So the idea behind these sessions, we do 3 now. We do Agency Tuesday, bot clinics on Wednesday, and affiliate stuff on Thursday. The idea is that we've obviously got video training for you guys to watch. Now, the video training is going to say exactly what I would say to you one-on-one. So the idea is that you can go and watch that, and if it raises any questions, then you can come into these sections, obviously the relevant one. Don't go to the affiliate one and ask me about agency because I won't answer it. But you can come on here and ask questions of things that you maybe weren't sure about when you're going through the video training. In these sessions, I'll always review a couple of bots for the first half an hour. What tends to happen is people will send them to me on an email during the week. Indeed, Oren sent theirs in about 6 days ago, maybe even 7 days ago, maybe after I'd announced that this would be happening. And yeah, I'll just take them on. So if you do want me to look at it, John, just send it in. Obviously, if I get 10 in 1 week, I can't look at them all in that week. But yeah, I'm more than happy to review bots. That is, as you say, the idea behind doing these sessions. Oren, I'm not quite sure what you mean the question regarding, can we get an option where the cards are multiple options instead of autofill? Yeah, I'm not too sure what you mean there. I think Abs has just been confirming what someone else said about the video being over the bot earlier. Thanks for that, Abs. So another note to make here, please, Winnie. Anne Waltz says, "I'd love full booking integration with Square." Is it? What's the full name for Square? Is anyone put it? God, I've lost I've lost the question now. It's not called Square. I forgot what it's called. If you could please let me know what the full name for that is, Anne, I'll get that added. Is it Square Booking? Is that what it is actually called? But it's Square. It is a booking thing. I know that, I've heard of it. I'll look into Square Booking for salons and stuff like that. If you can make a note of that, please, Winnie. And she also says, or a box that offers HTML embed. I could then frame my booking widget. We do offer HTML, but I'm not sure whether it would accept a form like that. I'd need to check. What would be fantastic, Anne, actually, is would you be able to send in to me your example code that you'd like to insert, and I can see about that. And also, we will have a look at that about that booking booking system for you. Okay, Alfred, I can see your question here. I would have to have a look into that. Not something that I can resolve right this moment, but if you email me on Simon at, I'm more than happy to look into it for you and see if you could give me more information as well. What kind of bot are you looking to install? If you could send me the site you're looking to install it on, I'm more than happy to have a look. Anne asks, how much data can be pulled into Active Campaign? How much data do you want in there, Anne? Yeah, if you could clarify what data you're looking to add, then I could look at that for you. John says, I can't see any questions from other people. It may be because they're not asking you and they're asking me. I'm not sure. I'm reasonably new to Skype, so I'm still learning my way through it. I think chat is what, if people comment in the chat, that is what everybody can see. But questions and answers only come through for me, because obviously the question they're asking is to me and not anybody else. So that might be why, John. But I can confirm that I'm seeing lots. Oren's just confirming that on the other bot we looked at, this one here, they had their name and image before they changed it, and it worked well too. Paul asks, can we change the background image of a full page bot? Yeah, as I'm in a bot, I'll show you. But again, this is stuff that really I shouldn't, because it's all in the training. Every bot has a design tab. And there's a background option, quite obvious there. And then in here, it says solid color. If you go to drop down, you can select image, and then you can upload an image. Please note that it must be these dimensions in order to fit the full page bot properly and not be skewed or stretched, etc. But yes, Paul, that is how you can add 12 different sexy wine rack images in a chessboard arrangement behind your bot there. Tim says, thanks, Simon. No worries, Tim. Gary says, this is just coming back to the bot icon that I know we were talking about earlier on. This might have been actually where he raised his hand. Well, what Gary says he does here, he uses a photo of the contact person. So it might be the anybody who works in the office. And then he says, I'm out of the office right now, but may be able to help you here. Is that okay? So he's sort of saying that, I'm a little assistant. So yeah, that's something that's worth trying. Try different things, guys. One thing I would say is that in many cases, you don't know something until you try it. So if you've got a feel that something might work, give it a go and see if it works. There was a video on site. Again, I think that was referring to what someone was talking about earlier on, but I'm not quite sure. How do we add a customer's info or questions to a Google Doc? Yeah, no, that's all right. They're going to say, I apologize, you may have answered this earlier. Yeah, so you should find that integration on the general settings page. There'll be a Google tab, and on there you should find an integration with Google Sheets, and then you can send all of the details that the bot collects straight to a Google Sheet. The wine rack doctors are Beaujolais and Madame Mazel. For anybody who was wondering, wrong site, but I'll just keep that there. Anne says I need to try and keep each bot simple. Yeah, I mean that's quite right, Anne. And one thing I would just sort of go to add on to that. Sometimes I think, we quite often see long sales pages or really long sales videos, and in many cases with bots, we don't want to have them really long and time consuming. If you think about the mindset of someone when they engage with a bot, and I don't know whether anyone does it, I do it quite often with live support. I think to myself, I'm going to go straight in there rather than faffing about and not be able to find what I'm looking for. Let me go in there and just ask them. And the aim for that is, the reason I'm doing that is I want to get in and out as quickly as possible. Get into the bot or get into the chat, solve my problem, get out and get on with my day. So some people can have this sort of feeling. It's probably quite a natural feeling that they've got to put lots of content in the bot, and I've got to sit and think about it, and it just seems short. But actually, in many cases, short and sweet can work really well. I guess it does depend on a little bit of what you're trying to do. If you're really trying to warm someone up, then it might need to be a little bit longer. But if it's just a question of, you want this, bang, give me your email address, I can send you this, go, then you're going to get far more results the shorter it is in many ways. Because if you think about it, if 1,000 people go through the bot, just by the fact that it's long, how many would drop out just because they're bored or get distracted, or the phone rings, or something else is going on? There's so many distractions in the world these days, that they might just get distracted. So actually, I try and keep my bots as short as possible. They've got to do what they've got to do, and they've got to have a certain amount of content in there. But don't think you've just got to keep writing and writing and writing, because you get to a point where it's going to have an adverse effect on what it is that you're trying to achieve. Paul says, thank you for the feedback on the wine rack doctors. No problem at all. I get what Oren's saying now. I did wonder, can we get a nicer multiple choice option, maybe using the cards? Actually, what I've wanted for multiple choice is just boxes that you can tick. So we have, when we display buttons, it's like there's maybe 4 buttons, you click on one and it moves on. What I want to do with multiple choice is have them there like buttons, but with little check boxes in, and then you can just check the ones that you want. So you can do multiple choice. If there's 5 options, you can select 3 of them, or you can select 1 of them, or you can select 4 of them, or you can select 2 of them, or you can select all 5. And you can just click them and move on. So I hope that helps, Oren. Anonymous attendee says, I missed yesterday's session because my father-in-law passed away. I'll miss him and I would like to catch up. Well, first of all, I'm very, very sorry to hear that. You're doing well to be here today. I'm sure yesterday must have been quite tricky for you. So just know that if any of you miss any of these sessions for any reason, please don't worry. We record them all, and they all can be found in the bonus training section in the left-hand sidebar, which is below basic and advanced training. If you go in there, you'll find 3 different options: one for the agency sessions, one for these bot clinic sessions, and another one for the affiliate sessions. So you can go in there and see all of the recordings to date. Lily Rose, I don't know the URL because it's in your account. So you'll just need to open the bot in your account, go to the publish page, and all of the published options are there. The published options are going to vary, although the process is the same, but the code you need or the URL, etc., is going to change depending on the box. Obviously, everyone needs to be unique. Otherwise, we'd all have the same bot on our site. So the only way you can find that out is to go into your bot, go onto the publish page and grab that. If you've got no idea what I'm talking about, then you need to go and have a look at the training, which will show you exactly how to do that. And in basic training, there's a whole category called publishing a bot, which explains everything in more detail than I can do here, certainly in about 30 seconds. I've covered the Google Doc. Anne again says thank you. Bye, Anne. Square Online Booking. That's the one, Winnie. If you're still there, Square Online Booking is the one we need to look at. Or it should only show available times for your Google Calendar. If it's not, then something's not right. Could you send me your example here, please, and I'll get our team to have a look at that for you. David, yes, we will send out an email. I normally do it the night before, but guys, I'm slowly. I've really got to go very soon because I have a call in 20 minutes. Like I say, I do need 10 or 15 minutes to just get ready for that. So I just want to have a quick squiz through just to see if there's any really important things. But if I can just do some quick fire. Shall I do some quick fire? Let's do some quick fire. I usually use, thanks, Anne. I've got a long question. First question for my quick fire. I usually use a long form and then my custom fields or my forms when I use active campaign form. The same questions within my bot. It would be nice to pull some of that data in. So Zapier integration could be built out more, then I think it would fix my problem. And please send me an email just confirming the details of what it is you'd like to do. Perhaps if you can confirm what you're not seeing that Zapier can do, then I can speak to our tech guys about that. Tim asks, is it possible to copy and paste a block from one bot to another in the bot builder? Give it a go, Tim. I find that if it is bot to bot, i.e. I might have two windows open or two tabs open, and I'm copying from one and pasting into the other, you might find that's fine because it's from the builder to the builder. If you were copying and pasting from a website content or a Word document or something, then the formatting will go funny and you'll find that the text is all different sizes. But you should be fine to do that. Do check it. And it may well be that some of the text doesn't come out exactly as you want it, but you know, it's certainly a quicker way. Oh, there's too many questions, guys. I'm just going to have to call it a day now because I'm down to 18 minutes before my next call. If there's anything that I've not been able to get to that is serious or you really want answers soon, please send us an email. Otherwise, we will be back same time next week. I don't think I'll have anything happening after our one next week. So if we go on till 5:30, I don't mind doing that. Obviously, we have to stop somewhere. But hopefully now we're going to be doing these every week. So you're going to get plenty of an opportunity to come on and ask my questions. A few people are saying thank you for today's session. So yeah, thanks guys. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry if I missed anything out. You know, I appreciate you all joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. So guys, yeah, take care. Carry on doing what you're doing. You know, I thought those bots that we looked at were good. You know, I tried to point out the good bits and the bad bits. Not always that easy. I thought they were both pretty good bots. And a lot of things comes down to just testing and trying different things. I'm not always going to know the right answer. I know it based on my experience, what I've done, what's worked for me. But there will be situations I come up against that I'm making my best educated guess. But anyway, guys, look, thanks for all being here. Do keep sending bots in for review. Obviously, 2 is about the right amount to go through and then still leave enough time for questions and answers. Otherwise, we overrun. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all next week.